What's up, Deej? How's it going?
Going.
All ready for this weekend coming up?
Yeah. I'm ready.
Going to be interesting. Now I understand that Greg is going to be debuting a new shirt today. So
No.
as soon as we can get him to come on here.
I'm trying.
I know that's just
What's taking so long? Can you guys hear me?
yep.
Yeah, we can hear you. Just can't see you.
That's weird.
I've seen an impersonation.
Usually pops up right away.
You can't see me yet?
Yeah, there you are.
Now it's good.
All righty.
I said something pop up on my screen saying, this call is having audio issues. Please try your call again.
Oh, I can't hear an echo.
No, when my tablet's doing all kinds of like notification things right now, so it's kind of making everything on my end glitchy.
Oh, okay. All right, so I can hear an echo bad. So let me try and recall again. All right, we were having a little echo issue there, but people on TikTok still remain on because we're going to be doing our Friday Night SmackDown recap. We're going to be talking WrestleMania here on Top Rope Report. Hey, Chloe. Okay. All right, I don't hear no echo now. Just wait for Greg. Yeah, I'm going to debut the new color Top Rope Report shirt Wednesday.
Sweet.
Hey, there he is. Okay, the echo is gone. So. All right.
Piece of shit.
So. All right, guys, if we're all ready, we can get started talking about our Friday Night SmackDown recap and also some WrestleMania.
You're not giving me your introduction.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another live edition of Top Rope Report here on YouTube and TikTok Live. I'm your host, the illustrious Mr. Trivia. Joining me each week, as usual, my co-host, my tag team partner, my best friend, the best in the business, the Noakster Greg, and Mr. 24/7. Guys, what's happening? So Friday Night SmackDown's in the books. We got one more Raw and one more SmackDown before WrestleMania. Hey, Shannon. So if you guys are all set, we can get started talking about Friday Night SmackDown.
Well, this week's Friday Night SmackDown came from the Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle, Washington. And in true Top Rope for fashion, anything and everything SmackDown, with the 24/7 leads us off with.
Oh, actually.
And this week, it started off with the Elvis in the ring inviting the Viper Randy Orton down. Mr. 24/7, like I said, you're up first.
All right. So Nick's in the ring, and he basically just starts, he's pissed. First thing, you can see it in his face and his eyes. He's all, he's pissed off. And he starts talking about how Randy, well, what? There was a bunch of moments last week, but there's one in particular I want to talk about. I think you guys know what it is. And obviously it's Randy RKO. So, and he says he was instructed to maintain his professionalism. Like, I wish that wasn't it. Like, I kind of wish he didn't have to maintain his professionalism. We've seen a little something, but whatever. So Randy comes out, and he's like, I can tell by the look in your eyes, you took last week very personally. And yeah, I think Nick Aldis did a really good job at showing that. And he's like, you can't tell me you didn't expect to even RKO at some point here after last year. When I paid extra, I paid double on the fine. So I think we're even now. All right, that's cool. Figured that would come back around at some point. And he goes on to talk about how he don't have a match, and it's his 20th Mania, so it's a very important one, and for Nick to do his job and get him a match. He's like, maybe lose your suit for a night and gear up too. That would be cool. And Nick's like, yeah, no. He's like, you really think this is about money? He's like, the company's doing record numbers. And I busted my ass for over 20 years to get here. I don't need your money. I need your respect. All right. I'm cool with all that. And then Randy's like, well, you've had my respect. You got it a long time ago. But if you don't deliver a match, I don't know if I can apologize to Mickie James for what I'm going to do. All right. Then Solo and Tama comes out, and right away in my mind I'm going, please no, because to me it's just, if they end up having Solo and Randy go, I mean, I'll be happy to have Randy on the card, but that's just like thrown together just to get him a match, and they don't, I don't know, I don't like it. But Solo and Tama come out, Solo starts talking shit to him like, oh, no one wants to hear you crying about not having a match, making a fool of yourself, blah, blah. It's over for you. You're in the past. And he goes on to talk about Jacob going to win the title, da-da-da. And LA will be in the past just like you. All right. He's talking, which got me thinking, damn it, we're probably going to get this match. So Randy's like, okay, well, you guys got some balls for interrupting me. He's like, the voices have been knocking. They're telling, they're saying, get your asses in the ring so I can show Seattle how to beat up two Samoan boys. They get in, they fight. Randy got the upper hand real quick, but then they get him, and then LA comes out. They fight. LA and Randy pretty much clear them out. And LA is like, I didn't have enough yet. Randy didn't have enough yet. How about a tag team match later? Nick Aldis says, yeah, good idea, let's do it. And that was that. So, pretty decent start, I thought, until Solo came out. Not that Solo and Tama did a bad job or anything, because I actually thought Solo did okay on the mic there. But I just didn't like them being the ones to come out here. So, I'll start off with B, just because the rest of the show, I'm going to go B here.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah, first of all, thank you everybody for the likes and follows. Greg, thank you for the gifts. Shannon says hello all. Yeah, I thought this was pretty good. I mean, when Randy came out and talked about wanting Nick to gear up and everything, I really don't want to see Randy Orton against Nick Aldis at WrestleMania. I mean, obviously the guy still works out and he's in decent shape. You can tell by, the way he fills out his suit and everything. But I mean, what he said to Nick Aldis was, pretty right on point. I gave you 100,000 because that was for the next one, and he gave him the next one. But it's always great to have Randy starting off with a promo. with Solo and Tama Tonga coming out. I loved how Randy went, for Tama Tonga. That was actually pretty funny. And then when LA Knight came out, the first thing I thought of was, well, here comes a tag team match to end the show. So, but that's pretty interesting because you can't have a WrestleMania without Randy Orton. I mean, 20 years now, he's kind of like the mainstay of WrestleMania. I'm looking forward to seeing who they're going to put in the ring with him. I think it's going to be him against Solo at WrestleMania, but we'll just have to see. But I thought it was a good way to start off the show promo-wise. I gave it a B+.
Okay. Yeah. There's really not much more I can say. I mean, all this. They did a great job looking like he was really, really pissed off and having trouble controlling his emotions. Randy Orton imitating, Tama Tonga's noise. That was hilarious. But, I mean, it was a pretty standard opening that we get from WWE. We got a little bit of fighting, a little bit of fighting, setting us up for a match later, but nothing groundbreaking happened. So, I mean, for what it was, I guess it worked. It did set up what later would be the main event of the evening and a tag team match. So I know we had a B+ and a B. Well, I'm going to give it a B-.
Okay.
After that, we then went to the Gauntlet match, which was a number one contenders match. Whoever won the Gauntlet would go up against Liv and Raquel at WrestleMania. The teams were Bayley and Lyra, Zoe and Shayna, Natalie and Maxine Dupree, Kayden Carter and Katana Chance, the ever so dominating tag team of B-Fab and Michin, and then the Secret Harvest, Alba Fire and Piper Niven. Now, I know Trivia said he did each match separately. DJ, how did you do it?
I did them each separately.
All right, then I'll throw a grade for each section myself. So, are we just doing it by elimination?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. So the first matchup was Bayley taking on Lyra. Bayley and Lyra taking on Zoe and Shayna. You lose up.
All righty. Thank you, Greg. Guys, we're up to 2K likes. Thank you. Yeah. I mean, it looked weird seeing Pure Fusion Collective there without Sonya Deville. I still think they're a pretty decent tag team. Bayley and Lyra, they looked really good as a tag team. But I thought this match could have been a little bit better than, what happened in the matches and everything. I just thought that I'm not saying that the wrong team won. No, the right team won, definitely. But Zoe and Shayna, I think they're just getting lost in the shuffle somewhere. And that's the first time I think we've seen them on TV in quite a while, other than backstage, walking back and forth and everything. But I thought this was an okay match. I gave it a C+.
Okay. I understand why half of the tag team of Zoe and Shayna. I honestly feel bad for Zoe because Shayna Baszler is Shayna Baszler. She's just never going to be over with the WWE crowd. They tried it with Ronda Rousey, and if it didn't work, then it's not going to ever work. But slowly, they paired her up with Trish Stratus a long time ago, and that helped her. And now she's just in the inferior tag team division. So yeah, I kind of feel bad for her. I really think she's a really good, performer. She did that. The one move that stuck out to my head is that devastating missile dropkick that she gave Lyra. She hit it perfectly, timed it perfectly, and she's good in the ring. But yeah, you know what? This we'll okay. And I'm looking at, all the other segments of this. It's kind of how I'm ranking it. I'll let you go B minus.
All right. DJ, thanks for the likes.
Well, first of all, when I seen Bailey and Lyra coming out for the first match, I thought it was good because I figured they were going to win seeing all the other teams. So I figured this is a good way to make them look strong, to run the gauntlet match and get their tag team match. So I like that part. The match was okay. They both got, a little bit of offense in. Yeah, I kind of feel bad a little for Shayna. Like, I wouldn't mind them trying one more time. Maybe, put her down in NXT again. Make her have a strong run, maybe a title run for a little while. Just try to look strong again and try the main roster one more time. But, yeah, they're getting lost, basically. But this was all right. I think Lyra ended up rolling Shayna up at the end for a win. So I went C+ here. It was all right.
Okay. Now, are we going, am I talking the next one? Are we doing it
Yeah.
that way? Or are we going to start with Mike again?
No, you.
Now we might as well do it.
Yeah, you can. Yep.
So, the next matchup for Bailey and Lyra, who won that first, well, I don't think any of us actually had mentioned that. Another great tag team duo of Natalya and Maxine Dupree. I get to go first for this one. And, yeah, this was, Natalya came out, she just looked different. I don't know what it was, like her outfit and Maxine's match with the pretty pink, which, I don't know, it's never been, that light pink has never been associated with anything in our family. But I was actually kind of impressed with how much Maxine Dupree has developed. She's starting to get that confidence. She's always been able to do a move here, move there, type deal. But she doesn't look scared. She looks confident. So any positive I could take away from this part was that I know Lyra got the win in the first one, and so Bailey had to get the win in this one, as Bailey and Lyra were able to take out Natalya and Maxine Dupree in very little time. And I gave this a straight up C.
Okay.
This is 24/7.
Yeah, this was kind of blah for me. Maxine, I do have it down that Maxine looked pretty good. Better than usual, anyway. Yeah, they did okay. Like, Natty got a little offense in the beginning, and then Maxine came in and did her thing. And then she tried to do the sharpshooter, like trying to suck up or whatever to Natty, and she gets rolled up, and they lose. So, whatever, cool. I'm down with Bailey and Lyra keep winning here. It was funny. I seen one thing. It was like a short or whatever on YouTube. It was Natty. It was before the match. She was talking to The Miz, and she's like, Maxine's trying to wear the same thing as me tonight, blah, blah, blah. I'm getting so annoyed. She's so annoying, da-da-da-da-da. I thought it was funny. But, yeah, I guess Maxine pretty much was the best part of the match, I guess, until the end. I went C-. Yeah, it was just all right.
Okay.
Alrighty. Thanks, everybody, for the 3K likes already so far. Yeah, this match was, I agree with what you guys said. Maxine has gotten leaps and bounds better than when she first came in. The matching outfits I could have really done without. It kind of looked a little childish, so to speak. But I think Maxine did a lot more in this match than Natty did. And I don't think any of these gauntlet matches, lasted a long time. But, yeah, I just thought it was a decent match. obviously Lyra and Bailey took the win. The right team got the win. I gave it the same grade as you guys. I gave it a C.
Okay. The next team to come out was a true tag team in Caden Carter and Katana Chance. Mr. 24/7, you're up first.
This definitely was a better match than the first two. Caden and Katana looked pretty good. They had some pretty wild moves they were doing. Yeah, I kind of enjoyed the match. It looked like maybe Caden and Katana were going to win at a couple points in the match, but Lyra ends up going to the top and hitting. I forgot what the move was, but she hit some move. It wasn't just a roll up like the first two. She actually hit a move and got a win. I thought it was the best match out of all of them here in the Garland match. I went B here.
Okay, check.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Caden and Katana, like Greg said, they're like really the only true tag team that was in this tournament. I've always liked them. They got a great ring presence. They're good in the ring. They complement each other's styles. I like that move where she goes over her head and does like a handstand on her, and then flips her over and drops her down on her opponent. I think that takes quite a bit of talent to do that. But yeah, I thought out of all the matches for the gauntlet match, I thought this was probably the best one. And like we said, Lyra and Bailey got another win, and I gave it a B.
Okay. Yeah, that move's called the cake stand. And just some of the things they can do. Katana Chance she's just so athletic. Once again, she was an American Ninja Warrior champion from the WWE when she was true to her real name, T.C. Catanzaro. And this Katana is kind of the Caden is kind of the muscle and power of the two. And if these women were 2 to 3 inches taller, I would think they would just run roughshod over all the tag teams.
Yeah.
It's just they're so small, and it's kind of hard to believe that they're as good as they can be. I know that was the first thought about practicing them is that they can't beat bigger teams. So maybe it's still hold for them.
Hey, Con.
But yeah, this was the best match of the 5 mini match we had, and this was the first time that it looked like that maybe Bailey and Lyra weren't going to get the win, but like Miss 24/7 said, Lyra wanted to get in the victory here. And going on to face the next team, I thought this was a solid effort. I also give this a B.
Okay.
The next team to come in was BFAB and Meechin. Mr. 24/7, you lead off for this one.
All right. Yeah, so this was blah. It was a blah match. It sucks because I hate to talk bad about anyone because they're all in there. They're all doing their best, and I get it. So it's hard to talk crap about BFAB, but it's just like when she comes in, I just get, I don't know, I'm just not into it. I don't know. And, I mean, Meechin looked okay. She basically did what she normally does. But the match was just blah. I mean, Bailey and Lyra were a little tired. They were starting to show it, but it didn't. They didn't need to not be tired for this match. So Bailey hit a rose plant on BFAB after, I believe Meechin dove out of the ring, I think, and the other two were out there, and Bailey hit the rose plant and pins BFAB. I mean, yeah, that's what we should have got with these two. But it just wasn't, like, I went C-. I could have went without it. Like,
All right. Yeah. Thank you. We got a new flash goal up there. I need 3 different people to send a heart me for the flash goal so we can hit that goal. Yeah, Meechin and BFAB, had to be the best team in the tournament. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Michin, I think she's better as a singles competitor, to be honest with you. I don't think she's that bad in the ring. BFAB is not that good. I knew that Bailey and Lyra were going to get the victory here. Wasn't really that good of a match on Michin and BFAB's part because Lyra and Bailey are so much better than them, and they showed it. I gave it a C.
Okay. Yeah, this was the worst of all five. And I can't say anything more about BFAB than Mr. 24/7 did already say. She's not that good. They try and make her seem vicious and this and that, but she's not. Yeah, I mean, nothing great or nothing horrible happened this match. It's just, Michin's okay for me, but I just don't like BFAB. And, it's not her fault. It's her character or lack of character is just blah. Bailey and Lyra did look like they were starting to tire a little bit. And, once we knew, the last few coming in after this, kind of, made sense. And there were 2 times they went to commercial just as the team was coming out. BFAB and Michin was one of them, so it was no big deal. But yeah, this was the worst of the 5. I give this a C-.
Okay.
After that, we then had the last team come in. It was the Secret Hermits of Alba Fire and Piper Niven. Trivia, you're up first.
All right, thank you, Greg. Yeah, I thought this was the best team that they faced, in my opinion, other than Kent and Carter. This was a really good match. I enjoyed watching it. I mean, even Piper Niven was seemed like she was being thrown all over the place. And for somebody her size, that's pretty amazing. Alba Fire took the loss. But yeah, I mean, kudos to Bailey and Lyra Valkyria for running the gauntlet. You don't see that very often, that a team takes down every team in the gauntlet. So I think they're a great team. I'm looking forward to their match at WrestleMania. But I thought this was a pretty decent match. Secret Hermits, they could be a good team. Chelsea Green was just funny, her usual funny self outside the ring. I gave it a B.
Well, Chelsea was at ringside.
Oh no, maybe it was when she was backstage.
She walked her out, and that was it.
Oh.
But yeah, this was a good match. That powerbomb that Lyra gave to Piper Niven, I mean, it was impressive. She walked a couple steps, which, not like that, we've seen other words slower and walked a little bit longer. Bailey to Nia Jax, but, with a little bit, Lyra's slower than Bailey. She's a tiny little thing almost, and for her to do that was pretty cool. But yeah, this was, in my eyes, when I saw this match, I said one of these 2 teams would be the one to win. And the only reason I thought it could be Alba and Piper was so that we get Chelsea Green ringside, at least at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Doing her bitching and complaining and whatever, just everything about it. But it made more sense, I guess, for Bailey and Lyra to win. Lyra jumped off the top rope on the back of Alba Fire's neck with like a leg drop after a rose plant by Bailey. And this was good. I gave this a solid B.
I see our Top Rope Report mascot has made his appearance.
I'm up, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. It wasn't bad. It was a decent match. I still think the Cade and Katana match was a little better. But this was definitely, besides that match, better than all the other ones. The only thing that I can't stand is I don't like what Alba and Piper are doing. I don't like. They're doing this too much. Like, I don't like the gimmick. I mean, I know it's a way to get Alba in here somehow and whatever, but I just think it would be better if they were just went back to, or go back to beating Alba and Piper beat Piper, but whatever. So they took off a little to me, especially the salute. Doing it like in the middle of the match is pretty. Like Alba saluted like every 2 minutes, like every minute and a half she's doing this. So it took away from me. It took away from a decent match. I kind of was like, please don't have Bailey and Lyra go all the way to the end and lose, and lose to them. So I'm happy that Bailey and Lyra won. I think it's good to have them on the Mania card. You definitely got to have them there. So I even want them to win. I hope they win the titles. But anyway, the match was all right. I went B-. It was all right.
Okay. All right. After that, we had Damian Priest come out, say quote unquote, come out to the ring for a promo. I think I lead off. Yeah, I lead off for this. So I'm just going to go right on into it as Damian Priest is walking out. Drew McIntyre attacked him from behind. Kept repeatedly bashing Damian Priest's head, neck, and back against a little video board. And then, security came out and separated them and helped walking the Priest to the back. Drew McIntyre spoke a little bit. I had a little something here exactly what he said, but I guess I didn't take that down. And then, as always, the injured superstar comes out from the back, struggling, being held back, starts landing some punches. They then start to brawl again outside the ring. Damian Priest then gets a future shot DDT done down right on top of the steps and had this real good glassy-eyed look in his eyes. He was just laying there almost cross-eyed. Drew McIntyre then ripped a necklace off of Damian Priest. I don't know what the significance of that is, but, this was after he had hit Priest in the head. So you can't get anybody a chair shot in the head, but you can hit him in the head with the steel steps. I never understood that, but anyways. But yeah, I thought it was okay. It told the story of the hatred between these two, which is now leading to a Sin City street fight at WrestleMania. And, I just gave it a B-.
Okay.
Mr. 24/7.
Yeah, the necklace thing, I didn't understand what it was either. I'm like, what does that matter? But then I'm just like, well, Drew takes people's stuff. Like he did it to Punk. It's kind of his thing, I guess. So whatever. He'll probably hold it up a couple times. Maybe next week,
thank you.
something, whatever. But the thing I keep saying throughout this whole storyline that we got with Priest and Drew, I feel like every time Priest comes out, he gets attacked from behind. And I'm just like, how are you not expecting this by now? If you come out and you're standing there, you're going to get attacked from behind. So that's what happened. Drew beat him pretty good there in the beginning. Threw him into one of the little, monitor things there on the guardrail and busted it. And he beat him good. And he came in and he basically, he says he's going to give him a beating of a lifetime in Mania. He says, I got something to tell Seattle, and he rips the iPads off. Thank Lord, because that was the most ridiculous thing ever.
Right.
And Jesse even noticed the first time it was upside down, he was wearing it. It wasn't good. So he ripped it off. I'm 100% now. And that Mania Priest is 100% screwed. All right. I'm ready for him to fight. Whatever. I mean, I'm not like really into this, but I don't know. I guess I am a little. So I do want to see the match, and hopefully it's done. Knock it out. I gotta see here. Yeah, it's all right because it was just what we expected was gonna happen. So
the one thing I was confused about that was he got choke slammed into the windshield and landed on his back. How did he get glasses on?
I was just thinking that too. Yep.
Jimmy, you're up.
All right, thank you. Okay, 3 people. I need each one of you to send a heart me for the flash goal. This DJ said it right. I mean, you're going to get attacked if you walk into the ring, especially from Drew. Drew's noted for attacking people from behind. He beat down Priest. I'm looking forward to this street fight at WrestleMania. This is probably one of the matches I'm definitely looking forward to seeing. I think either one could get the win. I don't think it's going to be a dominating performance from anybody. It's just going to be a knockdown drag out. And you know what Greg said about can't hit him with the chair, but you can hit him with the steps. Well, yeah, I can see that because the steps are aluminum, but which is
they're not aluminum. Come on.
Okay.
It was aluminum that would collapse when you stood on it.
You could tell the sound. There's a different sound between metal and aluminum, or steel and aluminum. So, but yeah, I just thought this was a decent promo between the two of them. I didn't really notice that he had to patch upside down before till DJ mentioned it, and then when I saw it, it was like, yeah, that didn't look right at all. I gave it a B.
After that, we then went to a singles matchup as it was Alberto from Phantasma, Legado del Phantasma, taking on Ray Phoenix. Mr. 24/7, you're up first.
all right. This was a pretty damn good match, I thought. Berto's good. He's really good. It sucks that he's stuck where he's at, but I think they tried him. I think at first they might have tried him, I think, as a singles, but I don't know, it didn't work, I guess. But I think he's good. And Ray Phoenix, that boy is really good. Just the stuff he could do. It's fun to watch. And the two of them, I think, they had good chemistry right off the rip. They seemed to do well together. They both were hitting big moves, crazy moves off the top, this, that. I'm liking Ray Phoenix. I already know about Berto. We get what we get from him. It's always good when he's there. We just don't really get a lot of it. But they both went back and forth, crazy spots, and then Ray Phoenix hits the, I think they called it Mexican Muscle Buster or something.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, and he gets the win. I'm happy. I like Ray Phoenix. I can't wait to see more. And I think Berto was a great matchup for him. They both were pretty much on the same level, and it was awesome. I went B.
Okay, sure.
All right. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate that. Philly 2J, welcome. Yeah, I thought this was a really great match. I mean, if and when WWE does another draft, and when they do it or whatever, I really think I wouldn't mind seeing Berto and Garza maybe split up. Let them do something individually. Let them do singles matches, singles runs. Ray Phoenix is he's just amazing in the ring. I really hope that they put him and Penta together and make the Lucha Brothers alive in WWE, because I'm looking forward to seeing them together as a team. And I just thought this was a really, really good match. Both guys complemented each other's styles well. I really enjoyed this match. I gave it an A.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Rockstar.
Yeah, this was the match of the night.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the only negative, or not really negative, the only thing I can say that's kind of weird is that there's wrestlers that have been in WWE for years that don't get pyro for their entrance. And Ray Phoenix is getting pyro in the second match. I did notice, though, his music, it didn't start out with that same, like, Logan Paul-ish screech at the beginning. So that was one thing I noticed last week was, it kind of started off with a scream, and there was a little different this time. So maybe somebody in WWE realized it. But yeah, this was a damn good, exciting, matchup. And Berto, once he's underrated. I mean, this matchup went through. Yeah, okay, there was a commercial break. But this matchup went almost 11 minutes long. That's really good. When you're talking about, live TV, you can get an 11-minute match. Verno's corkscrew dive over the top rope with Dawson. Some of the kicks, the walking on the ropes and the kicks that Ray Phoenix was doing was incredible. And then, the Mexican muscle buster that he uses to win the match was, muscle buster. And, I could only imagine Penta and Ray Phoenix together as a tag team. I almost think that WWE should be scared to do that because they would just blow their competition away.
Yeah.
With the speed and agility that Ray Phoenix looks like he's going to be able to give, to a little bit of power that Penta, I can see why they were highly regarded and recruited to come to the WWE. I really enjoyed this. Even a solid B+.
Yeah, Greg, DJ. Plus the talent he has when he comes into the ring on the top rope and everything, walking it and bouncing on it and everything. That's pretty impressive. CM1, thank you for all those gifts, CM1. I appreciate that.
Did you hit your mini goal of gifts?
No. They said.
Sorry, you gotta do a different one. I'm never gonna give you a heartbeat.
Well, it comes up randomly, so. It comes up randomly, so.
Okay. All right. After that, we then went to the singles matchup between Zelina Vega and Chelsea Green. Previous to this matchup, Chelsea was seen outside of the trainer's room trying to get her Secret Harvest to come out. Trev, I see you licking your chops. You're so excited to talk about this one. Lucky for you, you're first.
Oh, goody. Fred, thanks for joining. Paperino, thank you. Yeah, this would have been this was my bathroom match, basically. I mean, I spoke to Greg yesterday. He said I think the match was about a minute long. The next thing I know, Chelsea Green's outside the ring. I see the referee counting, and then boom, he rings the bell. It's like, wow, she got counted out already. I don't know. For some strange reason, I really think they're gonna have to start doing something much more better with Zelina Vega. I think it's just they're just wasting her. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a surprise to see her grab a count out win over Chelsea. She's probably going to petition for a title match now because she has a victory over the women's U.S. champion. So, but yeah, I didn't really like the match. Didn't care for it. Thought it was bad. I gave it a D.
Okay. Yeah, I'm up next, and Yeah, it was bad. I can't say it was bad. There was nothing that happened. It was a minute long.
Hey, Maddie.
I mean, the drop kick that Chelsea gave Zelina that caused her to fly out of the ring looked like it connected hard. I did see reports that it was the match was not supposed to end the way it ended. Chelsea didn't get back into the ring in time, and the referee couldn't just stop his count. He had no reason to. And she had stated that she thought that once she threw Zelina back in the ring, the count would be broken so she could play it up with the announcers in the crowd. So it was just mistiming on her part. But yeah, it just did nothing. Chelsea Green is actually we'll talk about that afterwards. So yeah, it was just it was nothing good happened except the drop kick, and it was just 1 minute of pointless whatever. But it was supposed to be a short match, but not that short. But yeah, I'll agree with trivia wholeheartedly with Dean. Mr. 24/7.
All right, yeah. This was blah again. It was nothing really. I didn't get it. I mean, now that you say kind of what was, what happened, it makes a little bit more sense, I guess. But
Right.
it just was like, what in the world? And this is the women's, United States champion. Why are we getting bullcrap like this? Especially, does she have a match at Mania? No, right?
No.
So they should be doing her up big here. She should have had a match with a decisive win over someone if she's not going to be on Mania, because this is, I don't know, to me it's just making that title worthless, or her as the champion, one or the other. Just, I don't know. Zelina did okay, I guess. They both actually did okay in the 30 seconds that they actually fought. But yeah, I can't really do anything with it because it was nothing. I'll go C-, and I think that's being generous.
Okay. Try to show a little smudges on my glasses here.
Hey, Maddie, what's going on? Thanks for coming in.
All right. After that, we then had, I guess, a bit of history. I'm up first for this one. As Cody Rhodes came to the ring with most of the versions of the WWE titles that existed in the ring, Cody cut a brief. I'm assuming you guys graded this, yes?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about the history of some of the titles from Bruno.
Dave Olson, what's up?
What was that?
No, just good.
Oh, okay. From Bruno on down the line to, the spinner belt with John Cena. Kind of weird to me that he didn't acknowledge, the tribal chief and all in his historic run. He didn't get to that last belt, which was, I think, the original title that Roman Reigns had before they were put together. But, he acknowledged The Undertaker, and then just, talk, for me, just a bunch of nonsense. I didn't really get much from that. I'm wondering if, because the matchup just before this between Zelina and Chelsea went so short, they asked him to kind of stretch out the time a little bit to make up for it. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to give this just a C.
Okay.
Mr. 24/7.
Yeah, I think it was to take some of the time up. I mean, I liked the idea of what was going on here with all the titles and whatnot. And he kind of went into each one a little bit, just saying, you know, this guy did this, that, and the other. So it was nice to hear, you know, those guys' names, especially Eddie. The crowd popped pretty big for Eddie. But yeah, it just was like, all right. I mean, I guess there's not really much more they can do here with Cena and Cody. It's time for the match. But Cody, he talked a little, you know, about when you have the WWE title, it means you're the best in the world. And, you know, whatever. He talked about how Cena wants to take the title home and they're not going to let him. And, I think he said something like, I have this tattoo and I wear my suits because I want to be somebody. I think he said something. It was a little weird because he's already the biggest somebody in WWE at the moment, but whatever. He said, I'll tell John the same thing I told Brock and the same thing I told Roman. I do my best work when I'm backed into a corner. I don't flinch, I fight, I wrestle. All right, cool. Let's see it. You know, I'm ready for it. I think he said the bell's going to ring, and when it does, and this is all over, I'll let you have your moment to say goodbye. He's like, I could say your time is up, my time is now. But John, you already know, you know, your time has been up for a while. He said this title is going to stay home and stay with us. All right. They, like I said, they pretty much did everything they could do here. It's time for the match, but I went B-.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I like how he referenced the old school belts. You know, when he gets to the first one, this represents selling out Madison Square Garden a zillion times. We all know that was Bruno. I really thought it was great that he gave The Undertaker some acknowledgement, especially Eddie Guerrero. I thought that was really good. And then he stops at the spinner belt, talks about that, and then he, you know, like Greg said, he didn't mention anything about the last title that was there. But I thought it was okay. Look, to me, it was just could have been a time filler, but I thought it was all right. I gave it a B.
All right. After that, we then went to a singles matchup between the Women's World Champion, Tiffany Stratton, and Roxanne Perez. We see Roxanne standing outside of Nick Aldis's office saying that seeing as Ava wouldn't give her a match at St. Deliver, that she was going to talk to Nick about getting a championship match at WrestleMania, which is what led to this matchup. Mr. 24/7, you're up first.
Potato, thank you.
I thought it was a decent match. Tiff looked good as usual. She pretty much was, you know, showing Roxanne why she's the champ. But Roxanne did pretty well too. She had some good offense, and you know, she took Tiff down a few times. But basically, I thought Tiff was a little bit too much for her. Roxanne kicked out of some big moves, so it was pretty good what we got for the wrestling, but I don't like the way they ended it, and I never do. I mean, I feel like I say it all the time, but I just hate when they do stuff like, or no, I take that back. They did have a finish. My fault. Tiff did hit her moonsault, so I'm glad that they did finish it correctly. But Charlotte, I don't know if it's just me or I'm just getting tired of seeing Charlotte brawl, her and Tiffany just brawling on the outside. I'm actually getting tired of seeing Charlotte altogether, to be honest. She's just not Charlotte to me. even like when she was in that promo like last week or whatever, when for her to let the crowd get to her, it's just wow, how you're you've done everything. So to me, it's just not the same Charlotte. I'm not into it that much, but I am happy for Tiff. They gave her a clean win going into Mania. I think I'm gonna go B- because I think Charlotte did it for me. I'm gonna go B-.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, this match, I was surprised to see Roxanne on there. Her and Tiffany, I thought they had a good match. They had made mention, I guess, during the match or before the match that, Charlotte was sent home for the week and she wasn't going to be there. And, Tiffany she looked good. I really would not be surprised if Tiffany won at WrestleMania. I mean, it was a good match. Roxanne, she's proved that she could compete on the main roster. Even though she did lose the match, really didn't expect her to win it, but it was. I thought it was a really good match overall. I gave it a B+.
Okay. I'm up next, and yeah, I mean, it was a good match. They worked well together. I mean, they faced each other twice when they were both in NXT, and they each won one match. So this was kind of the tiebreaker. Tiffany, Roxanne Fraser, she took control. And just as they went to a break, she kept Tiffany kind of grounded to help neutralize the fact that Tiffany is, I think other than Zelina Vega, anybody is taller and bigger than Roxanne Perez. But it was a solid performance from two women that could be very important to this women's division for years to come. Who knows? Maybe they develop into the type of rivalry that Becky and Charlotte had somewhere down the road. Tiffany picked up the win and then was immediately pulled out by Charlotte Flair. She threw her over the announcer's table, and then Wade Barrett said, like, what are you doing? You got to stop this. You're going to get yourself fired. Which is not, that's so unusual. Except for the one time that Wade Barrett stood in front of Drew McIntyre at the post whatever show was, whatever feeling that was. But he ripped his head up there right in her face. And then, Tiffany got, Charlotte got back up and, to stand over Tiffany. So I kind of liked that part of it. But it was a good match. And I'm going to give it a solid B.
Okay.
All right. After that, we then went to the main event of the evening as a tag team matchup with Solo Sikoa and Tamatanga taking on Randy Orton and L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Trivia, you're up first.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Yeah, I thought this was a good match. Randy Orton and LA Knight, they seem to work pretty well together considering they probably never teamed before. I've never seen them together as a tag team. Solo and Tama, they're just a brutal team. I wouldn't be surprised if, we got something more out of this, not tag team wise, maybe individual wise, but I just thought it was a good match. Randy looked good. Ellie and everybody just looked really, really good in this match. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good way to end SmackDown. I gave it a B.
Okay. So we got the match, and it started kind of late. It was like 10 minutes left. So we got an actual 8-minute and 55-second matchup. So I'll say the first 7, and then there was a commercial break. So we saw about 5 minutes of this match. I know on that little side-by-side screen thing, Solo and Tama kind of had the upper hand for most of the time during the break. And then, you know, when it came back, we got the hot tag to LA Knight, you know, to kind of even things out. Randy and Tonga just kind of disappeared. They went off into the crowd and were fighting through the crowd, and that left just, was it? Yeah, it was Tonga and Randy Orton, right?
Yep.
Not Solo Randy Orton, correct?
Right.
Wait, there were?
I think. Yeah.
What?
Randy and Tama were fighting outside the ring, right?
I thought it was Solo and Tom and Randy in the crowd.
Yeah, that's
Oh.
right. Yeah, that's right now. Yeah, I just started to confuse myself. I had it written backwards here.
Yeah.
So eventually, yeah, I guess you got the BFT. Kind of, you know, it was an RKO. That's what it was, an RKO to Tama Tonga. The spike from Solo Sikoa. That's when Randy and Solo went fighting out into the audience. And so obviously it's easier to recover from an RKO than it is a small spike, because Tama Tonga got a burst. That was it, the BFT. And then after that, you know, Elliott was immediately taken down by Jacob Fatu, who gave him, you know, the hip attack and then several moonsaults. And you know, I love Tiffany, but you know what? Jacob and her need to go head to head for who has the prettiest moonsault. I know visually she's just better looking than Jacob Fatu, but anyways, I thought it was a good match. If there is going to be a matchup for Randy Orton at WrestleMania, and I have to say if in quotes, because I really think they're going to get him one, I just honestly think all fingers point to Solo Sikoa. So we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, I thought this was a good match. I gave it a solid 8.
All right.
Mission 7.
Yeah, definitely a good match. You know, coming into it, like I said before, I was a little upset being that it was Solo and Tom out here with Randy, but whatever. You know, I got past it at the moment. They did good. Both teams did look good. Solo and Tama, they did their behind the ref's back thing, and they did what heels should do. So Randy was able to come in and get all his stuff in. So yeah, I like the match. I don't know how I feel about the Randy and Solo going into the crowd and fighting and just basically taking them out of the match. So kind of like whatever, and to me that told exactly what you said. All signs point to him and Solo. So that part was a little hard to get. I don't know. I hate it for Randy. That's all. But back in the ring, LA and Tama, they get up and they went back to back. They turn around and boom, he hits them with the BFD. So it was cool to see LA get the pin, and then he gets beat up by Jacob. I'm ready for them to fight. I'm ready to see how that match goes. But he left him laying. So all right, cool. I'm ready for it. I went B here. It was good.
All right.
So
Overall, I gave it a B.
I went with a B- overall.
Thank you for the roses.
Yeah, I got C+ overall.
Okay. Stone Cactus, welcome back in, buddy. Haven't seen you in a while. All right, and that was our Friday night SmackDown recap. Right now, we're going to get to the best part of the show, see what he's got for us this week. It's Nuggies News. So, Greg, what do you got?
All right, a few little quick hits here. Congratulations goes out to the Hockey Talk man. and she has recently signed a Legends deal with WWE. I don't know how much you get in a Legends deal or what perks you get or whatever, but he has signed one. Congratulations also goes out to a former WWE ring announcer, Samantha Irvin. She has just recently released her first music and video called Shawty Wanna. Haven't heard it, don't know anything about it, but if you're interested, maybe go to YouTube and type in Shawty Wanna and hear her, singing. Kairi Sane reported that she is close to return. In an interview, said that she is even stronger than before. I know I posted a picture on our page. She put a picture on X of her just really looking,
Hold on.
jacked.
Yep.
What was that, Mike?
I said, yep. I saw the picture. I'm agreeing with you.
You said hold on or something.
Nope.
Oh, okay. And I know I heard rumors before that WWE doesn't test for performance-enhancing drugs or steroids or anything while you're rehabbing an injury. They only do it while you're active. And not that I'm trying to feed the conspiracy, when you look at wrestlers that went away and were out for injuries and came back, and all of a sudden, nothing against them, but AJ Styles, and I'll kind of be saying, you begin to wonder. So, are you guys ready for what is being reported as 18 hours of WWE viewing WrestleMania weekend?
Yep.
Yeah. So you're ready for the 3-hour pre-show, a 4-hour show, and a 2-hour post-show, both Saturday and Sunday.
Sure.
I mean, I'm ready for as much of it. Yeah, for as much of it as I can do. Yeah.
I'm sorry, if I see 7 minutes of the pre-show, it'll be and if I see something really big is going to have to happen for me to stay around for the post-show as well. I mean, that's just a little much. I know I was talking to my son, Lynn Munger show, yesterday, and I'm like, well, I could see 18 hours if you include the 3 SmackDown, the 8 on the weekend, and then WrestleMania, Monday Night Raw, and then NXT in Las Vegas. You put all those together, and you got 6, 10, 14, you got about 17, 18 hours. I didn't realize that they met in just 2 days. A WWE star has filed a formal appeal to overturn a decision that happened on SmackDown. Chelsea Green went to X to note that she was officially filing against the company to have the decision in her singles match against Zelina Vega overturned. Guys, does she have merit for this to be done?
No.
I mean,
You should know that if you're outside the ring and you toss your opponent in the ring and you're still outside the ring, the referee's not going to stop the count. You both got to be in the ring.
yeah. I think it works for Chelsea, but I can't see that working for really anyone else. So, but yeah, no man, I don't believe.
So, did you guys know that there was a new champion crowned in Seattle at SmackDown?
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen that this morning.
Yes, Sol Ruka is now the women's speed champion. Candice LeRae had a record length of holding that title. And now Sol Luda, who is an NXT superstar, is the speed champion. So I guess again, have you guys ever seen a single speed title, speed match, whether it be men or women's?
I've never even seen the belt. I don't even know what the belt looks like.
No, I think I've seen the very first one, some of it, but no, I didn't really see any of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever. It's yeah. Let's see. So I pulled up an article, and it's called "The Most Devastating Losses in WrestleMania History." So this isn't my list. It's not who I pulled up. So I'm going to go through these matches, and in true, nugget news, do you agree that this match kind of was devastating for the superstar that lost this match? The first one, WrestleMania 9, Yokozuna losing to the host.
Wow, it's amazing you mentioned that, Greg, because before you did that, Wayne Hayes posted on TikTok, are you guys talking about WrestleMania 9 documentary? But Rick, I'll get to your comment momentarily. But yeah, that match, WrestleMania 9, when Yokozuna lost to Hogan, that was kind of an unscheduled match. I mean, he lost. He had just defeated Bret Hart, and Bret Hart was the one that told Hogan, go in there, and that was just something that WWE had planned, but it was unscheduled. So,
what you said? Is it the devastation of it? Is that how you said it?
Yeah. Most devastating losses in WWE WrestleMania history.
Yeah. I mean, for me personally, I was fairly young watching it at that time, so I was happy, I guess, to see title changes. I didn't really get into the actual storylines of them, or any more deeper than just the match, kind of. But if you think about it and you look at everything that was going on, yeah, I feel like it kind of was for Yoko, but I mean, Hulk, and back then they're gonna pretty much do everything for Hulk.
Yeah, I mean, this was, if I remember correctly, not that this ended Yokozuna's career, but it definitely catapulted into his demise in WWE.
Yep.
Losing that title, especially Hulk Hogan. He had salt thrown in his eyes by Mr. Fuji, and so yeah, I really think it was kind of devastating. Next one, it was the next year at WrestleMania, where Lex Luger lost a matchup at WrestleMania 10 to Yokozuna.
DJ?
No, I don't think it was too devastating. I mean, Yoko was Yokozuna at that time, so I think going into it, I feel like, I don't know who was the favorite going into it, but I don't know, I feel like it definitely could have happened, so I don't see the devastation in it too much.
Yeah, I agree with DJ. I mean, it was a loss that, it was a win Yokozuna needed to have after what happened in the WrestleMania the year before. But I mean, like I said originally, it's nice that they're putting Lex Luger in the Hall of Fame, but I really think that WWE missed the boat with Lex Luger because they didn't know what to do with him when he came in.
Right, this isn't Trivia's news. It's Snooki's news. We don't care about that.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm gonna totally disagree with you guys. I mean, after this, I think the timing of the whole thing is what was bad for Luger. I mean, the year before, I don't remember what the hell the name of the shit was, but he, slammed Yokozuna.
Yep.
And at that point, that was the highest point, in my opinion, of his career in WWE. So to wait till April of next year to have that payoff, he kind of fizzled out. After the whatever that Royal Rumble, where him and Bret Hart were the winners.
Yeah.
And so kind of tailed off, but this was his last WrestleMania match, his last really high-profile match, and then later that year is when he went back to WCW. So I think that loss devastated Lex Luger's career in WWE.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Yep. And if you don't mind me saying something, I believe that was the USS Intrepid
Okay.
that Luger did the slam on.
Okay. The next one they have on this list was the 60-man Iron Man match between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart at WrestleMania 12, where Shawn Michaels was eventually the winner.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty devastating loss for Bret. I'm not saying it changed his career, but it was a match that was really a devastating loss for him because we all know the history with him and Shawn Michaels, and 60 minutes for anybody is a long time to go in a match. So
Yeah. I think to either one of them, whoever would have won or lost, I think it would have been devastating. I mean, you could say just because it was 60 minutes, just right there alone, it's devastating. Because you go that whole time, man, and you end up losing. But I think for Bret's career at that moment, too, I think it was pretty devastating.
Yeah, I mean, it goes the whole 60 minutes. You're the champion, the whole 60 minutes. And the pinfalls were tied. And so you think you've successfully defended your title, and then they go into sudden death overtime.
Yeah.
2 seconds later, you get sweet chin music, and you're pinned 1, 2, 3, and it's over. So yeah, it was pretty devastating.
Yeah.
Next one, Triple H taking on Booker T in a World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania 19.
TJ,
I don't remember the match.
Yeah, either did I.
I do.
Who won?
Triple H.
Triple H.
Triple H won?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not really remembering what's going on at this point. I'd say, though, if Booker had a match against Hunter at Mania, he had to have been doing something. So I think any kind of big loss for Booker probably hurts. I'll say it was devastating.
Yeah, I remember that because Triple H was kind of the bully of WWE back then, and Booker T was accusing Triple H of stepping on people to get up to the top, and Triple H was like, well, if you're going to do this, you're going to do that, I'm going to have you fired, and blah blah blah. And to me, I think Booker T just kind of lost a little interest in wrestling Triple H for that match, but that was a devastating loss for Booker T because he wanted to prove himself against Triple H.
Yeah, looking at what they put in this, they really tried playing the race card in this match. It shows you that Triple H was quoted as saying, quote unquote, people like Booker T don't win championships. And the fans immediately criticized the direction of the rivalry. So they kind of backed off the element of the race card and the story. But, I mean, it said the damage had already been done. Unless, it took Booker T 3 years to, get back to consistently being booked when he, 2006, and this was, 3 years later, when he finally became the King of the Ring, and the King Booker character happened. Next one. Well, The Undertaker, WrestleMania 30, losing to Brock Lesnar. Was that a devastating loss?
Yeah, I would say it was, because The Undertaker, that snapped his streak. I mean, that's originally the plan they were going with, but well, no, the original plan was to have Triple H do it, but he didn't want to do it, so Brock's like, well, I'll do it. But yeah, that was kind of devastating, for not only for Undertaker, but from a fan's point of view also, to see the Undertaker's streak snapped, because I believe he was 21-0 at WrestleMania at that time, and I think fans really wanted to, continue to see the streak going.
Yeah, I agree. It was devastating because it didn't have to happen, basically. Brock did not need to win that match at all. And Undertaker, I feel like they had the opportunities to do it if they were going to do it. You're up to 21 now. How many more was he really going to do? And whatever, he did a couple or whatever, a few, whatever. But you're pretty much toward the end, so why? Just let it go. The Undertaker did and was, even backstage mostly, with the boys in the back mostly, he was the guy. He was the leader, the boss everyone looked up to. He deserved to have that streak, retire with that streak, I think. It just didn't need to happen. So, yeah, I'm saying that was devastating.
Yes, absolutely. I think his last WrestleMania match where he retired the Undertaker character, where the hat, the jacket, and everything left the ring would have been a lot more emotional if he was still 24-0.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that was devastating. For two more, Asuka's WrestleMania 34 loss to Charlotte Flair.
I'm going to say no. And this one, I think you can go both ways, but I'm going to say no. I think just Asuka being at the top, being a champion, is good enough for her. And that's kind of weird to say because Asuka's Asuka, but I'm going to say no, that it wasn't that devastating.
I believe that was the match that Charlotte ended the undefeated streak of Asuka. And that would have been devastating to the effect that, hey, Asuka was undefeated. She was riding high. Nobody could beat her. Undefeated for like 2 years or however long it was. And all of a sudden, boom, it got taken away from you because you got beat by Charlotte. Yeah, that'd be pretty devastating.
Yeah.
Yeah, 914-day undefeated streak. And she won the Royal Rumble, challenged Charlotte, and because Charlotte Flair is Charlotte Flair, and she didn't want to lose. She didn't. Put Asuka in the figure 8, and halt at that point the momentum for Asuka. So yeah, I think that was pretty devastating. And then the last one they have on here is Cody Rhodes not being able to finish his story at that point at WrestleMania 39 by losing to Roman Reigns. Man.
What do you think, DJ?
I'm going to say yeah. I think they hyped up the have have to finish my story, and being that the fact that he was doing it for Dusty, doing it for somebody to bring that title, I would say it was devastating.
Yeah, I agree, because Cody would.
Not knowing he was going to win it the next year, thinking he probably would, but not knowing. But yeah, I'm going to go it was.
Yep. Yeah, I agree, because, the hype there was Cody wanting to finish the story and not really succeeding at it. I mean, Solo had a big part in that as well, but, just him not finishing his story was kind of, heartbreaking for him. We all know what happened the following year at WrestleMania, but yeah, that had to be kind of heartbreaking for Cody.
Yeah, it was devastating. I remember the look on his face of utter disappointment in the ring as Roman Reigns had walked away, and just, you actually got a little emotional and choked up just seeing it. So yeah, I totally agree that was devastating. And that was what I have for Nuggies News this week. Trivia, what do you got for upcoming independent shows?
All right. Before I get to the independent news, Rick made a comment. What does the term heel mean in regards to John Cena? He's just a bad guy now.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we have Friday, May 16th. Paradise Alley Pro Wrestling is bringing back Friday Night Alley Fights. 662 Co Avenue at the training facility in East Haven, Connecticut. Tickets are $15 at the door. Also, indie news, we have also another PAPW show is Bash at the Brewery on May the 10th at the Armada Brewing Company in New Haven. Doors open at 6, bell time is at 7. Scheduled to appear on that card will be Troy Stevens versus Jay Lovelace. Damian Black, who I remember from back in the day wrestling for a promotion in Chicopee, Mass. He's going against Mr. Z. Alan Compass versus Mooch. Oh, no, Alan Compass and Sergeant Murray. Greg will remember Sergeant Murray. I'm glad he's back. Against Andy Sweet and versus Mooch and Andy Sweet. Antonio Andolini, never heard of that name before. Hey, Rock fan. Will go against Sylvan. Mirza will defend his title against Jeremy LaCroix. Jekyll against the Connecticut hardcore icon Bull Dread. Gabriel Cruz versus Kaizo. And the Barriqua brothers will defend their tag team championship against the Brawny brothers in a title match. And also, we have Valhalla for Outcast Pro Wrestling. Fans Bring the Weapons match. It will be the Gathering Place, 99 East Street in Wallingford, Connecticut. Tickets are $20 for general admission. Students and military, $15 a piece. Kids 7 and under get in for free. The scheduled match for that night is a wrestler named 5150. From what I've been told, the man is about 6'8", weighs about 350 pounds, and he's going to square off against Bull Dread. And also, Outcast Pro Wrestling is having another show June the 14th in Gales Ferry, Connecticut at the Ledyard Middle School. Scheduled to appear on that show will be Mickey Midas against the most marketable man in wrestling, Richard Holiday. Aaron Norman versus Katie Lothbrook. And Danny O'Ryan versus Kylon King. So those are some of the independent shows that I have coming up here in the New England, Connecticut area. So right now we're going to go to the What If segment of our show. So DJ, what do you got for us?
All right. Stay with the Mania, WrestleMania category, I guess you can call it. First one. What if Paul Heyman betrays Punk and Roman and joins Seth? Somehow they do it. Would that even work? Or do we want to see something like that happen?
You've been very vocal about this, so why don't you go ahead?
Thank you, Greg. Wrestle Rant, thanks for liking the live. I remember somebody saying, not on the show, somebody on TikTok, thank you, Wrestle Rant, saying that when Paul Heyman elevated the career of CM Punk to championship form. Now, CM Punk doesn't need a mouthpiece, we know that. Roman Reigns also was elevated to title status by Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns doesn't need a mouthpiece either from Paul Heyman. I think he's pretty good on the mic. But I just think that he could really energize and boost the career of Seth Rollins if he ends up going with Seth Rollins. I mean, Seth is a multiple-time champion. He obviously doesn't need any help on the mic. And, you know, he asked a favor of Paul Heyman, which I'm dying to see what that's going to be. But I just think that I've said in the past, I've talked to Greg and DJ, I mentioned it on the show. I think he's going to turn it in that match and align himself with Seth Rollins.
Right. But if it happens, I don't think it does I don't think it makes any sense for it to happen.
Right.
If it does, I wouldn't be for it. I would think it'd be a mistake. Seth Rollins doesn't need Paul Heyman. He doesn't need an elevator to championship level because, you know, whoever wins, Gunther or Jey Uso, Seth Rollins could be right there in line to fight whoever without Paul Heyman. So, yeah, if it happens, I think it's a mistake.
Okay.
I agree. I mean, I feel like if it does happen, I mean, they're both good enough where it would probably be fairly entertaining. But, yeah, it just doesn't make sense, like you said. We'll see. What if the New Day wins the title at Mania? Do we want to see a heel New Day tag run again? Because I think they did way back when, but do we want to see that?
If they win, I think that's what would be best for the Raw Tag Team division. I just don't think the War Raiders have been able to do it. I think, I even told Mike, I'm confused. I mean, they were the Viking Raiders, then became the War Raiders, and then they left again and came back and were still the War Raiders, but now they're not Vikings, they're like bikers. So it's just, who are they? Yes, they're two very large men that are freakishly athletic for men their size. Okay, but character-wise, they're not that good on the mic. Maybe they should allow it, Paul Heyman. But the New Day are in there. They're one of the biggest heels in WWE now. So if they win, I think it would work tremendously for the Raw Tag division.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Greg. I like the New Day's new style now. The fans are really hating it. You can tell when they come out. But I think it would be really good, like Greg said, you know, for the tag division to have the New Day capture the tag team titles. And what better place to do it at WrestleMania?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it. They just have a tendency to boost up the tag titles. They know how to be big and loud and talk, and you know, regardless of if they're talking crap to the crowd or talking with the crowd, I think they're just good enough to definitely boost the division without a doubt. So yeah, I'm down for that. What if Rey Mysterio beats Grande Americana at Mania and he rips the mask off, proving it's Chad Gable? Is Is that the end of Grande Americano?
Well, it's not if Rey Mysterio beats him. I think it's when Rey Mysterio beats him. But yeah, I think it'll be the end of El Grande, whatever Americano. I mean, anybody who knows wrestling knows that's Chad Gable. If they put any other person under that mask to face Rey Mysterio, then that's just going to be pretty ridiculous on my part. But yeah, I think it'll be. I think it'll be the end of it after he win. After Ray wins.
Well, if Ray wins, this is what if. It's
true.
I don't. If Rey Mysterio unmasks El Grande Americano, well, whenever El Grande Americano gets unmasked, yes, that will be it. That will be over. I'm kind of, I'm disappointed that they're having this match already. To me, it should have been something they should have carried out for a little longer, and really, kind of fed into it. But yeah, if Chad Gable is revealed to be El Grande Americano, then yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. All right, what if Cena does win the title in Mania? What title is he going to come out with? He doesn't, the next night on Raw or whatever throughout his title run. Does he come out with the same one or bring back another one?
I think he'll do the same one. I don't think. I mean, could he turn that into another spinner belt with the the new W there in the middle, kind of spinning around? Maybe. But if we listen to what John Cena said, he's going to win it and go home. Although he's advertised for like 10 of the next 12 SmackDowns and PLE, Backlash used to, advertise for there, and then like 8 others. So it looks like full-time Cena's around for a couple months. But if he wins, he comes out with the same title that Cody has now.
I agree, but a question I want to bring up to you guys, and I'll just make it a short question. Even though Cena's full-time schedule is basically limited matches that he's going to have, do you think he has to win at WrestleMania? And if he loses, is it a one and done for Cena if he loses?
I don't think he necessarily has to win. I think being that it's to break a record, I guess you could maybe say he's got to win it. But if he don't, I don't think it's one and done because I think he ends up doing it before the year's up.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, and I think he'll end up taking the same title.
He will break the record.
Yeah.
And I think he will keep the same title that Cody has.
Yeah, I do too. All right. What if Dominic Mysterio wins the U.S. title in Mania and I guess turns babyface, say? Can we get behind that? Babyface Dom? The fans like it?
I know I can get behind it. I think Dominic Mysterio would make a good, undercard champion. IC title, US title, whichever. I think it'll take the fans a little bit of time to warm up to him, or will they warm up to him right away if he gets the IC title by pinning Finn Balor? Then that'll cause even more friction between the two. But I think I can get behind it.
If Dominic Mysterio wins, I can't get behind him as a face, and I don't think it would work. I think he's too much of a heel. If he wins and he winds up pinning Finn Balor, I think all that does is causes Finn Balor to leave the Judgment Day, go out on his own, which I think would be, good for him. And then, that leaves a Judgment Day of, Dominic Mysterio, Carlito, and then Liv and Raquel.
Right.
But if he wins, I can't and don't think that the WWE Universe should get behind him as a babyface.
Okay.
Yeah, I think eventually, it'll work. But at this moment, I don't know if it could.
If they're going to turn a babyface, he has to write his relationship with his dad. That would be the way to do it.
Hey, James.
All right. What if you can choose one wrestler on the active roster right now to get put in the Hall of Fame, say this year? Who is it?
On the active roster right now, well, are we including John Cena as an active wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go with him. That'd be too easy. I'll go with. You know what? I'll go with The Miz.
There you go.
I'm going to go with Randy Orton
Yeah.
Oh, why'd you raise your hand up like that?
because that's what Randy does, doesn't he? Something like that.
Oh, I didn't see both hands. I
Oh.
just saw the one.
Yeah.
I couldn't see the top of your hand, so I'm thinking you're doing the number one.
Oh.
Because I only saw the one arm going up, but I didn't see your head.
I think there's a lot of guys on the active roster that are, Hall of Fame ready.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, Randy definitely was the first come to mind. But I think you could probably do a couple of them. Cena definitely. But I think Cena's one of them guys that it's going to mean maybe not more, but at least the same. Like, they can wait for him to be done, put him in. And I think Randy too, but I think Randy would be the best one in my opinion. All right. What if you can pick one wrestler, male or female, not on the Mania card, to be on it? Who is it?
Chelsea Green.
Or they?
I would say Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
I would love to see her on the Mania card.
Because Mike already said Chelsea Green. I'm going to say the Street Profits. Because with the focus that SmackDown has had on the tag division, to not put that belt on WrestleMania, but put the War Raiders on, is, a kick in the nuts, slap in the face, punch in the gut.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I agree with both of them. I think a title needs to be on Mania. I think every title should be on Mania, in my opinion. So I think it sucks for the ones that aren't. All right. What if you can choose 3 announcers to call this year's WrestleMania, past or present? Who are they?
Oh. Let's see. It's 3 announcers. Well, I'll go play by play. It's just tough. I'm trying to debate as to where I want to go, a mixture of eras or damn, this is tough. You should have given us a little pre-show with this one. Did there's so many choices.
Greg, can I go first? Because I got three.
Yeah.
I think the guys with the best combinations, Michael Cole, Jim Ross, and Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for me, that would be tough because it would have to be Michael Cole or JR. Couldn't be both.
Yeah.
That's where I'm struggling. So, and you see how uncomfortable Michael Cole was, like those first couple weeks until Tessitore was the play-by-play. He's just not that good at color. So I'm gonna go. As much as I love Pat McAfee, I can't. I'm gonna go Michael Cole play-by-play with JR and Booker T as JR and Corey Graves as color.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. See, I didn't really.
Drew Lawler.
Huh?
Lawler.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, I think Jerry Lawler and JR. I think they're just so good together, and they were there when I was growing up and really watching a lot of wrestling. So I love them together. The other one I thought of was Bobby the Brain Heenan. Just to have him in there, he was funny. You know, I don't know. I think he was. I like to see him free.
You're not Bobby Heenan, don't you have that girl now too?
I mean, I guess, but I think
all these pairings.
Yeah.
like to see those three, see how Heenan would do with King and JR, I think would have been cool. I got one more. What if you can decide what The Rock does this year's Mania, whether he does something or not? What does he do?
I really think he's gonna come out and play a big part in the John Cena Cody Rhodes match. I really do.
Yeah, if The Rock gets involved, it has to be, to me, like a last-second stipulation to make it tougher for Cody. Because as of now, he said he was going to make Cody Rhodes' life a living hell. And what has he done? He's done nothing.
Not a single thing.
Right. So.
Yeah. I mean, it would have to be with that match. I mean, but does he actually come out, get involved in the match at all, you think? Try to really help Cena win? Or no? Is he even out there during the match?
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. No. We'll
No.
see. But yeah, that's what I got this week.
All right. Great job, DJ. Stone Cactus, thanks for tuning in. And right now, we are on the road to WrestleMania. And this Friday, we got the confirmation of night 1 and night 2 matches. As I was going over the matches, I realized that there's 4 title matches on each night. So, Greg, if you don't mind filling us in and letting us know who will appear on night 1, who will appear on night 2, and what do we think is going to be the best night?
All right, so night 1, which is Saturday, start time was 7 p.m. Eastern. We have the following matches: a singles match between Jade Cargill and Naomi, a singles match between Rey Mysterio and El Grande Americano. We have a matchup: Tiffany Stratton defending her WWE Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. We have Gunther defending his World Heavyweight Championship against Jey Uso. The War Raiders defending the World Tag Team Championships against the New Day. And we have LA Knight defending his U.S. Championship against Jacob Fatu. And then the main event of night one, which is Roman Reigns taking on Seth Rollins, taking on CM Punk with Paul Heyman in CM Punk's corner. Night two, which is Sunday night, start time at 7 p.m. Eastern, where the matchup between AJ Styles and Logan Paul. We have a matchup, a Sin City street fight, Damian Priest against Drew McIntyre. Then 1, 2, 3, oh, that's what so says. Duh. We have a triple threat match where Io Sky defends her Women's World Championship against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. We have the Women's Tag Team Championship match, Liv and Raquel defending against Bayley and Lara Valkyria. The Fatal 4-Way for the IC title, which is Braun Breaker defending against Penta, Finn Balor, and Dominic Mysterio. And then the main event of night two, which for the undisputed WWE Championship is Cody Rhodes defends against John Cena. So we have 7 on one night, 6 on night two. It is rumored that they will be adding a 7th match to Sunday. We just don't know what that match may be.
Okay. Now let me put this question to you guys. Do you think Naomi and Jade and Rey and El Grande Americano are WrestleMania worthy matches, or could they have waited and put that on another PLE? Did they have to put it on WrestleMania?
No, I mean, that could have been a Monday night after Mania or SmackDown before or Monday, whatever, because the title matches, not having title matches on there when you could, yeah, they could definitely be over those matches.
Okay, so who's Chelsea Green defending against? That's going to make that match a bigger match, because you got to even out the women's matches. So if you're going to take Jade and Naomi off, who's Chelsea Green fighting in that match that's a bigger matchup than Jade and Naomi?
I mean, right now, they haven't done anything, so I don't even know where to go with it. I mean, if they would have thought of this, and did something, they could have made it work. But if you want to just go over right now, no, none. Jade and Naomi would have to be on there, but it's not a title match. That's why I said what I said. But, I mean, there is a lot to that match. So, I'm not mad at Don, basically.
Yeah, I just think that they could have built something like, kind of like what DJ said. They could have built up something for Chelsea Green so she could defend her title at WrestleMania. But by not doing that, they had to do something. So they put Jade and Naomi in that. I mean, that's a good storyline. But I just think they could have worked a little harder to maybe try and find a program for Chelsea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Street profit.
I mean, could they have waited on the reveal of Naomi taking out Jade until actually at WrestleMania and have Naomi in a matchup with Chelsea?
I think that would have worked.
And that's when Jade confronts Naomi.
Yeah, I think that would have worked.
Yep.
But just by looking at some of the matches on the card, even without a 7th match right now, it looks like, to me, I think night 2 is going to be a little bit better than night 1.
See, I was thinking the total opposite. By looking at it all, I was like, man, night 1 looks stacked. I mean, depending on what this match is they put on, which if it's Randy and Solo, it's not going to boost it up any, that much. Randy will boost it up. He will. Just his name alone will.
So
Yeah, 'cause I think LA Knight Jacob Fatu could be a really good match. I think Tiffany and Charlotte have a chance to be a really good match. Gunther and Jey Uso, I think it's going to rock the house. And then you got the triple threat at the end. I think like night one, right now looks like the better night of the two. Once again, depending on what they do with that quote-unquote edition of a seventh match.
Right.
I did see that there's, rumor floating around that something is going to happen Friday in the Street Profits tag match that adds another matchup with them. On Sunday, a multi-team type match, possibly a ladder match. So if you're telling me we're going to get the Street Profits against Los Garza, against Motor City Machine Guns, against Pretty Deadly, and against what's the fifth?
DIY.
Yeah.
DIY in a ladder match, that really boosts up Sunday's card.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I feel they should, because they did for a while there. They were doing a ladder match of some sort, or a big,
We've had some sort of ladder match at WrestleMania for seems like forever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'd be down with that.
So, Greg Peacock, thanks for joining. All right, that was our night one and night two matches for WrestleMania. I also want to let the people on TikTok know that the Top Rope Report will be doing their prediction show this Friday at 6 p.m. So, if you guys want to tune in and listen to our picks and who we think is going to win WrestleMania, and you guys want to throw some picks up there as well, go right ahead. We'll see what you think. But, so Friday night, 6 o'clock is our prediction show for WrestleMania. Anything else you guys want to add for today? All right. Once again, another great Nuggies news, another great what if. So, all right. So I want to thank everybody tuning in on TikTok. Also, I'll be posting this on YouTube from YouTube. So on behalf of the Nugster Greg and Mr. 24/7, it's the illustrious Mr. Trivia for Top Rope Report. Saying thank you all, and we'll catch you on Wednesday. All right.